Hi, I'm your Illinois State Controller, Susana Mendoza. Thank you all so much for having me. I'm so sorry I can't be there with you, but because fair and equal pay is such an important topic, I still wanted to talk to you about the issue today. Women have made so many strides in the workforce, but it hasn't been without a lot of hard work, proving ourselves, and often being overlooked. Unfortunately, a new report shows we have a ways to go. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, full-time female workers earned 83 cents for every dollar paid to a white male last year. That's a slight drop from the 84 cents women earned in 2022, and the first significant decrease in equal pay in more than 2 decades. When you break the numbers down by race, the picture's even more disheartening because women of color earn the least compared to men. In 2022, black women working full-time made 69 cents to every dollar earned by men, and last year that number fell to 66 cents. The pay gap for Latina full-time workers remained about the same at a reprehensible 58 cents to the dollar. So what can we do about blatant inequity? We can stand together, support one another, and make our voices heard. For too long, we've had to work harder than men for less money. Women are expected to do this while running our families, rushing our kids off to sports practice, cooking dinner, maybe taking care of an aging parent, or working a second job. When I was elected as the first woman city clerk of Chicago, I did what over 100 years worth of men before me could not do. I changed the once-a-year city sticker ordeal to a year-round registration. Instead of waiting hours in line every June, you could spend minutes, or you could do it online in the comfort of your home, even in the buff if you wanted to. Saved the city millions of dollars in overtime costs every year. Delivered better services at lower taxpayer cost. All the men told me it couldn't be done. It could not be done. But I did it while getting engaged, getting married, giving birth, and breastfeeding a baby for a year. And by the way, I did all of this in my first term as city clerk. And God forbid we complain about having to do everything they do backwards and in high heels because, well, you know what they'll label us. If we show too much emotion at work, we're weak and unstable. If we show too much leadership, we're bossy and difficult. This needs to stop. For starters, we can't use these misogynistic tropes to describe other women, our colleagues, and our friends. Remember, when you were a little girl, maybe you wanted to be an astronaut, Wonder Woman, or President of the United States. Think back to those days when anything was possible, because it is. I know all about trying to keep up with the boys. When I was a little girl growing up, I was the only girl on the boys soccer team until high school. My high school didn't have a girls soccer team, so my family fought to start one. I can proudly say that I helped create Bolingbrook High School's inaugural girls soccer team. As I later entered politics, I saw the staggering lack of women in top positions and the good old boys club alive and well. But that fight I had in me growing up helped keep me motivated as I was elected as the youngest member of the 92nd General Assembly, the first female city clerk of Chicago, and now as the first independently elected Hispanic in a statewide office. It's great to be the first, but even better to be the first of many. We must not forget that we as women are a force to be reckoned with, and I encourage you to lift one another up. It's so important that we all share our stories of not just success, but of the disappointments and, yes, even the failures we've experienced. That's how we learn. We should not be afraid to share our challenges. That's where we find our power. And like a superhero, with that power comes great responsibility. The responsibility to help the next generation of women reach new heights, just like the brave souls did before us. We all can do this by remembering we are role models to little girls with big dreams, mentoring youth, and pushing for change in our own workplaces. Some industries have been slower to adapt than others, making it hard to attract and retain female employees. That's why we must push for more flexible schedules, childcare options, job training, and opportunities for advancement without fear of retaliation or being passed over for a man. And most men will support us on this because they want that same flexibility. We can also urge employers to come up with strategies to make sure a woman and a man working the same job receive the same compensation. Devise metrics to measure the success of those efforts. Managers should conduct pay equity audits, be clear about the salary range when hiring a new employee, and discuss opportunities for advancement with female employees. We must demand fair and equal pay because at the end of the day, women kick ass and absolutely deserve to be paid for the blood, sweat, and tears they put into their positions. Go ahead and ask for that raise or promotion. Don't be afraid to seek new opportunities. Be proud of yourself and tout your successes. As famous labor leader and civil rights activist Dolores Huerta said, quote, "We as women should shine light on our accomplishments and not feel egotistical when we do. It's a way to let the world know that we as women can accomplish great things." End of quote. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you today. And remember, girls rule.